The story begins with Hughie Erskine. Hughie is a total 10 out of 10. He is charming, immensely popular, and possesses a warm, affectionate heart. But Victorian society does not pay you a salary for being charming. To earn money in a capitalist world, you need expertise, tenacity, and a line of trade, and Hughie has none of those. He is not as intellectually profound as he is good looking. His late father left him a set of heavy history books on the Peninsular Wars, but Hughie keeps them shelved and unread. When it comes to work, Hughie lacks the endurance to suffer through the learning process. Mastery requires practice, making mistakes, and enduring failure. Things Hughie simply does not have the patience for. He tried trading on the stock exchange, but as Oscar Wilde puts it, he was just a delicate butterfly lost amidst the fierce bulls and bears. He tried selling tea, but got bored of it. He tried selling sherry, but failed. Hughie is unemployed. He is entirely dependent on an allowance from his old aunt, living way beyond his means and completely paralyzed by his financial inadequacy. To make matters worse, Hughie is deeply in love with a woman named Laura Merton. Laura's father, a retired colonel, likes Hughie personally, but imposes a strict financial rule. Hughie can marry Laura only if he can secure £10,000 of his own money. One afternoon, Hughie visits his friend Alan Trevor, a successful painter. In the corner of the studio stands a miserable figure on a raised platform, an old, withered beggar dressed in tattered rags, leaning on a rough stick and extending a battered hat for arms. As Alan paints, a fascinating back and forth unfolds between Hughie and Alan, a conversation that reveals Oscar Wilde's take on money and financial exploitation throughout this entire story. Hughie learns that the model is paid a mere shilling an hour, while Alan will sell the finished painting for 2,000 guineas. Hughie immediately points out this severe underpayment. To Hughie, standing frozen for hours without moving a finger is excruciating work, and the model deserves higher wages. Alan counters with the cold logic of commercial art. Painting is just as labor-intensive. Finding buyer is difficult, and since he takes all the artistic and financial risk, he deserves the lion's share of the profit. When Alan steps out of the room, the beggar drops his posture to relax. He looks exhausted, desperate, and deeply impoverished. Hughie's heart aches for the old man. Digging into his pockets, Hughie finds a single gold sovereign, the last substantial money he owns. Giving it away means Hughie will have to walk everywhere and suffer through financial hardship for the next fortnight. But Hughie does not care. He believes that the old man needs it more than he does. He drops the coin into the beggar's hand and leaves. That night, Hughie meets Alan at a club and learns a shocking truth. The beggar was not a beggar at all. He was Baron Hausberg, one of the wealthiest men in Europe, who paid Alan to paint him dressed in rags just for fun. Hughie is horrified, assuming he has deeply insulted a billionaire. But the next morning, a messenger from the Baron arrives at Hughie's home, holding a sealed envelope containing a check as a wedding gift for Hughie and Laura. This ending is where Oscar Wilde's genius shines. In 19th century Victorian society, the prevailing ideology was the self-made man, the belief that wealth was the reward for hard work, frugality, and market discipline. Oscar Wilde ruthlessly lampoons this myth. Hughie's ultimate emancipation from financial misery does not come from hard work, smart financial management, or gaining expertise in a trade. It comes out of a single act of impulse and selfless charity. Oscar Wilde shows us a world where capitalism tries to replace human morality, but where a simple act of human empathy completely subverts the market system. To fully appreciate the story, we have to talk about Baron Hausberg himself. The title, The Model Millionaire, is an intentional double meaning. One, he is a millionaire posing as an artist's model, and two, he becomes an exemplary or model rich man. In Victorian Europe, high society was obsessed with class hierarchy, lavish clothing, and social posturing. Yet Baron Hausberg willingly strips away his status, puts on rags, and stands still for hours to experience what it feels like to be underprivileged. More importantly, the Baron values genuine human connection. When Hughie dropped that gold coin into his hat, the Baron did not view it as patronizing. He recognized it as an authentic mark of a good heart. After Hughie left, the Baron took the time to ask Alan all about the young man, learning about his broken dreams, his lack of money, and his love for Laura. The Baron did not reward Hughie out of obligation. He returned Hughie's kindness with a grand kindness of his own. He proved that the true nobility isn't found in hoarding capital, but in using financial power to foster human happiness. The Model Millionaire remains one of Oscar Wilde's most enduring short works because it packages profound social critique inside an effortless, lighthearted tale. Oscar Wilde reminds us that while money and capitalism may dominate the mechanics of social structure, they should never be allowed to dictate human worth. In a world that constantly demands productivity, expertise, and financial gain, Hughie Erskine reminds us that empathy, open-heartedness, and simple human warmth are the things that truly make life and art worth living. If you have made this far, thank you for tuning in. This is Fiction Gravy, and next time we will meet with another piece of literature.